first impression was, oh Lord, this guy is terror prof, something like that. But then when I got to know you through the course of the years, you're pretty cool guy. You're funny dude. So yeah, ganun.
Actually, your class was, one of my favorites, like, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I really enjoyed your class so much. So
yeah. I
that time,
remember.
Nico, uh, were you already starting to have interest in what you're doing right now? So drums, music. I mean,
Yeah.
were you already clear about that goal that time?
Yeah, I was, I think, 16 at the time.
Mm.
But my goal was very clear. I really wanted to play music.
Okay.
Uh, I started playing when I was, I think, 12 or 13. But when I turned 15, that's when I started playing in bars.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So when I handled you, you were already playing.
Yeah, yeah, I was. I
But
was.
then I was not able to really know that aspect of your personality during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I knew about you then was that you were one of my most articulate students.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, di ba?
really?
Your communication skill is, good. That's why
Thanks, thanks.
and then you were so active in class. That's why,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, you were one of the most active students then. So uh, after after Zobel, so you went to
I went to DLSU for my
yeah.
college degree. Yeah.
Okay, so could you please tell something about your journey as a student at LaSalle?
Okay. So after high school, I went to DLSU for my undergrad. And then when I was in DLSU, I joined the Lasallian Youth Orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
So from playing in bands, I went to being a college student and playing for an orchestra, which was so different because it's so
Yeah.
calculated. It's
Mm-hmm.
so strict to the sheet. I mean, our conductor that time was he was pretty liberal about how you interpret the piece, but when it comes to the sections, dun siya very precise. Like
Mm. So
this has to sound like this.
it's an orchestra, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
you were not doing the drums.
No, I was playing drums for
So it's
orchestra.
part of the orchestra. No, I
Yeah,
didn't
there.
know that.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There.
So it's still drums that you
Yeah, yeah.
focus
Drumming.
on. I
Mm-mm.
see. And then uh what was the major, achievement that you consider your major achievement as a member of that orchestra?
I
Or what was
guess.
your reason why you joined the orchestra? Because you could have just joined another band, or you could have come up with your own band in LaSalle.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to enter the orchestra?
So um, to back up your question,
Mm.
while I was in the orchestra, I was also in a rock band.
Simultaneously.
Simultaneous. But I wanted to become a better musician. So I thought joining an orchestra would help me discipline myself more in terms of note reading, learning. Their deadlines. Unlike
Yeah.
you're in a rock band, it's like whatever really goes. It's more of the feeling. But with an orchestra, it's like, this is the piece today, play it. If you don't, you're not playing tonight. Ganun yun eh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and the discipline, probably although there's discipline also in the band, but
Yeah, yeah. Just don't be
it's
late. Don't
stricter,
be
right?
absent. Yeah, but orchestra is a different animal. So that I quit after a year.
So you spent a year in the orchestra,
Yeah, I
and
realized. Yeah, I realized it wasn't for me. Although
okay,
I love the experience, but in the long term, I was like,
mm.
I'm not an orchestra player.
Okay. So when you quit, so you just decided to focus on honing your skills in drum, gearing towards the band, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. So
So with the band, No, sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Sergio.
it's okay. I mean, the last time I communicated with you when you were still in college, when you were still in Lasal,
Mhm.
what I could remember was that you were with Kyle. I mean, was he part of your group or
Yeah,
group
he was.
composition?
He
So
was.
what happened?
Yeah.
Intriga, eh, no? What happened? Why
Well,
nawala siya?
yeah, no, he had to go to Canada.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, so you're out of the band, dude.
Okay. So it was his decision
Yeah,
to
he had
leave
to
the
leave. Eh.
band.
Yeah, he had to
So
leave.
no bad blood when you separated.
No,
Okay.
not at all, not at all.
That's good to know. Okay, so you finish your degree. Okay, what was
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way, what was the course that you took in LaSalle?
I took development studies and business management
Okay, why that course?
because actually I don't know. I like political science, but it was a quota course, and
Mhm.
the closest thing to it was development studies.
Development studies
And
and
then I thought, why not get a business course? Because I'm in LaSalle already. So combine the two. Ayun, I
mm,
finished it.
okay,
Took a
so
long while.
but then while you were studying, you were doing gigs already that time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
How did it
so
start? I mean, how did
o-
it start? The gig, the
okay. So I was playing in high school. So when I had the band in college, some of those members carried over to college, and then a little revisions here and there, and then you get bookings from friends of friends of friends.
connections.
Connections, yeah,
Mm.
that's very important in the music industry. You need to really connect with people. So that happened, and then 2013 we decided to audition for Red Horse Beer's Pambansang Music Laban.
As that was the first major.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was like the
yeah,
big
I
thing.
heard of that. You were the champ, right? You were the
Yeah,
champion.
we won the campaign for 2013.
Mhm.
So we
So how
beat
did you go
about,
about it when you found
yeah.
out about it? So could you please share
So that experience was stressful
why?
because so we did the auditions, then the eliminations. We got to the semifinals. The semifinals was you had to play in front of, I think it was 100,000 people at the time.
A
It
big
was
crowd.
big crowd. It was Rakrakan Festival, our first ever. So we played to the judges and to the people, and it was, for me, that was nerve wracking because I've never played to 100,000 people at that point. Like,
Mm.
wow. And then we won semifinals. We got to the finals. This is what happened. Nung finals, it was in Hard Rock, Makati.
Mhm.
But wala na yun eh. Anyway, we got the call from the organizers like, oh, you have an interview with Nix at 10 a.m. You have to be here at 9 a.m. And at the time I was in college. Well, most of us were. And good thing Lasal is quite near to Makati.
Yeah.
So I called the band like, yo guys, we gotta do this. Let's go or else it'll be late. Long story short, we missed the interview because we were late because we were advised
Oh.
late. But out of the 5 bands in the finals, we won.
Okay.
And
Amazing.
that, thank you.
Mm.
And this is the clincher. This is what siguro I'm most awed about the experience was. They did the numbers on that campaign, and we beat 4,999 bands across the
Wow.
nation,
Mm.
across the whole Philippines, because it's a national contest, eh.
Mm.
And we were number one for that campaign, and thank you, Lord.
Where can you attribute your victory?
My victory, of course, to my bandmates,
Yeah, aside from the
because
I think connections also, right?
uh, well, not really, because at the time we weren't. really a known band. We were more like, you know, we were obscure, really obscure. No one heard of us. We had no connections really in the
in the
in the
industry?
industry, and that was like the door that opened for us
Mm.
to meet so many people.
So most of, I mean, all the members of Manila Under Fire are all from LaSalle.
At the time, only two of us were,
Mm. The
and then the
other,
rest.
how many are you in the group?
Well, now we're three.
Three. Mm. But originally you were
We were four.
four. Okay, but you managed to keep the, you know, the members, the original members up to this very moment, or there were some changes.
There were
In,
changes.
mm,
Yeah, the only people who stayed were me and Gabby, our
uh,
vocalist, our
mm,
frontman.
mm.
Yeah, but the rest changed
but
for
but
the
who
better.
but who basically uh, leads the group?
um, we all do.
Mm,
We have our strengths. We have, well, the three of us now. We have our own strengths and weaknesses, so we help support each other. We don't have like a band leader
mm.
because it's equal for us.
But who
Everything is
formed
equal.
it? I mean, how did it happen?
Uh yeah, I formed it.
Okay.
I formed it back in
And so, how did what were your requirements then? Uh, for a member to become part of your band.
maybe the requirements are like if you can play well. For
Mm.
example, I'm a drummer, right? I have to connect with my bass player. If me and the bass player get along in all
It happens, no?
aspects,
I mean,
yeah.
it's naturally happening.
Yeah. There are no real requirements. They're just it happens.
So, what is that? You look around, you search around people who know, and then you try to talk to the person, or I mean, I'm just curious to know, no, because you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's usually like that. It's like you talk to your friends, they talk to their friends, and then they share information, then you share information, then you gather and you jam. If
Mhm.
it's good, then it's good. But there's no real process. It's very
Yeah.
spontaneous. It's
Okay,
very
that's nice.
spontaneous.
No,
Yeah.
and of course, okay, you had that break, no, for the music laban,
Yeah.
and that was in 2014, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So after that, victory, after that milestone, we can
Yeah.
consider that as a milestone in your career. You were
Yeah.
starting, but all of a sudden, boom. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened next? No.
Okay. After that, we got a touring deal with Dickies Philippines.
Okay.
So we toured with them for 5 years, 2015 to 2020. Unfortunately, the company had to close
Mm.
because of certain legalities. So we're shifting to another brand, which I can't say yet.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that happened, and we were touring with. Have you heard of Slapshot?
I'm not really familiar, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But they're like the rock band of the Philippines.
Okay.
So we were always opening for them for events, and from there we got our own fans as well. Like not just playing in bars or events, but actually touring the country, touring
Visayas,
kung
Mindanao.
saan, yeah, kung saan kami napapadpad.
Mm. And then did you have a manager that time? Or you just personally, you were automatically communicated with this, events organizers?
Yeah, we didn't really have a manager at the time. We had what we call a road manager.
Okay.
So a road manager is basically someone who attends to the needs of the band and is the middleman between the band and a promoter or an
Organized.
organizer. Yeah. Yeah. So, but the decision making were always the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, do you consider that 2014 as also a banner year for you? Because what I know is that you even had recordings, right?
Right. Right.
That year also you had so many songs.
Right. Right. So 2014 was a really busy year because we were still in college at
Mm.
the time, and it was really hard to juggle, school and playing every night most of the time.
So,
So talagang
is it an album that you made?
yeah, we released an album 2015 January.
Mm.
Uh, we're releasing a new one this year
Okay. We don't
under
know.
Island. Yeah, yeah. I'll pitch you that. I'll pitch you that later.
Okay.
Under Island Records, Philippines.
Okay. Uh, so when did you graduate in Lasalle?
2017.
At least you managed to finish it in spite of the busy
Oh yeah.
schedule that
Oh
you had,
Lord.
right? Mm-hmm.
Sir dudes, oh Lord, I swear. I
Mm-hmm.
almost did not finish college.
Yeah. But what pushed you? What motivated you to tell yourself, oh, I have to finish it. I have to finish it, even though I'm already having a career.
Yeah. Well, I guess in our family, education is very important, and it's no joke. So it's better to have a degree than not to have a degree. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else, but I'm just saying that it's better to have a parang bala kumbaga, like
Yeah.
you know.
You have a backup if ever you
Yeah,
decide
yeah,
to
yeah.
retire from
Yeah, I
show
mean, it's
business.
nice to it's also nice to have more know-how
Mm. But
in
the
other
good
aspects
yeah,
of life than just,
yeah, the good thing about you, Nikos, is that you're a very personable and articulate man, right? I mean, you're very likable. The moment you speak, I mean, people will
thank you, thank you.
easily like you. Well, probably that's one of the reasons why you manage to gain fans, especially when they see
I
you in
guess, I guess,
person, right? Mm-mm.
I guess.
Mm.
It's either they're scared or they like me.
No, you're likable
Because
even though you with all this new, your mustache
yeah,
and I mean,
yeah,
uh, I think you look better now,
yeah. I
right?
look more of a man. Back
Mm,
in high school, I was a kid.
baby,
I was a
yeah.
baby, the
Mm.
baby. Yeah. So
But
yun.
those songs, I mean, when you had your album, there were so many songs there, right? So were you
Yeah,
the ones who I mean, did you compose any of the song or all the songs? Who's your composer?
yeah. At the time, I didn't write any of the songs. I wasn't a songwriter at the time. I was just a drummer. So it was mostly our old guitar player and Gabby, our vocalist, and Biggs. He's
Okay.
our bass player. Yeah.
But who composed the melody? I mean together they composed the melody plus the lyrics.
For lyrics, it's usually Gab, our vocalist. For music, it can come from any one of us.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
all this, I haven't heard all the songs, so but I have one favorite later. I'll tell you. But
Okay,
uh,
okay.
one of the songs, is there any song here where you sang, or you
No,
just
no, no.
mainly, you just mainly play the drum?
Now I make music,
Mm.
but I don't sing on the albums.
Ah, okay.
Because Gab has this number one rule, which we all agree.
Mm.
Pag album, siya. Because it's one voice eh.
Mm.
It's less confusing for the listener,
Yeah.
in our
The
opinion.
identity is there. No.
Yeah, the identity is like, oh, that's Manila Under Fire. That's Manila Under Fire.
Mm.
Because if I sing, I'm not a fan of my voice, but I do sing sometimes. But I'm not gonna sing on a record. No, no, no. I'm not gonna
Oh,
sing
okay.
on a
But
record.
remember at one point in 2014, or also I think I
Yeah.
requested you to compose a song for a school where I was a head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you sang. You were the one
Oh.
who sent me the
Oh yeah.
demo song. It was nice, but unfortunately, we were not able to use it because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there was a problem in the school, and then I left the school, so I kept it.
Right, right.
uh, and so, but
Yeah.
when you sang, I think you had a voice. No, I said, oh, he has a voice. Nikos has a voice. No, so when did you discover that, or when did you find out that you could also compose songs?
Actually, I've been writing songs since I was 14,
Ah, okay.
but I was never really confident in sharing them until 3 years ago, I think, or 4 years ago. Gab, our vocalist, pushed me to start writing because he felt at the time he needed help
Mm.
with the writing process because he was telling me it'll be better if I had some input as well. So yeah, I started writing.
So what was the
And
first song that you composed for the band?
after it's said and done,
Oh my gosh! And that's my favorite song.
it's the lovey-dovey
Yeah, because
piano-y.
it's different from some most of
Oh
your
yeah,
music, and I mean it's heartfelt. So although I want to know the background of the
of
song,
the
I
song.
mean I might have a different interpretation. So I want to hear it straight from the composer. What
Okay.
is the inspiration behind it?
Uh, so I had a girlfriend back in 2015. Um, we kept on being on and off, and it came to a point where this is not working out anymore. But I didn't know how to tell her,
Okay.
so I just wrote word lyrics right out of, I don't know where I was. I just started writing, not typing on my phone, like
Mm,
real writing.
you're really writing.
Yeah, and I just, that phrase after it's said and done, I don't know where I got it from. I just felt like if this happens again, you can't take it back. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
nasabi mo na eh.
yeah.
Hindi mo na mababawi yun. You can't take it back at all.
Yeah, because there was, I couldn't, I don't memorize the lyrics, but
Yeah.
there was a point, there was a part there na, uh, uh, after it's said and done, parang, will you still parang treat me the same way? Parang ganon, o will you
Yeah,
still,
yeah, yeah.
oh,
So it's a lot of questions. It's, if you notice the verse, they're not statements. Because usually, in a song, a verse are like, statements. They're
mm,
like, I am like this, feeling like this. But I wanted to turn it around and make it a question. Like, after it's said and done, would you still love me? Would you hold me again? Would you
yeah.
wait till the end? Stuff like that.
But that one was composed in 2019.
It was released in 2019, but
Ah,
I wrote it in 2016.
16. Oh, it took you 3 years, no? 16, 17, 18, 19 before it was released. Why did you decide to release it that late? I mean, 3 years after.
A lot of it has to do with um, production, how to produce the music. And we're very meticulous with our songs now.
Mm,
When we were younger, we were like, okay na yan. But now it's more, we want to raise the bar, to
mm.
make Filipino music international. We want to sound
Actually, that
international.
one is of international flavor. That song.
Mm,
Mm.
mm,
So when I actually I found out the song like few days ago only.
right,
So when
right.
I was listening into it, I said like, my gosh, this is so nice, no? And then I was also thinking of introducing it to my classes for our song interpretation and song analysis. It's part of
Wow.
literature. And then honestly, I never knew that it's you who composed it. No, I'm
Yeah.
not really aware. So this is exciting, no? But when you finished the song in 2016, was it given to your girlfriend, or you just composed it because you couldn't, express verbally what you felt during
Yeah,
the
I couldn't say it. So how do you say this?
mm.
I couldn't say it, so like paano ba? Hirap
So
explain.
how did you tell your girlfriend it's over? It's too personal, but then,
I
it's
I'm trying to remember because these things you block out.
mm,
Uh, wait, now I remember. I don't remember the breakup, but I do remember years later sending her the song.
oh. But
And
you
I
you
said,
you you remain friends.
"Oh yeah, we're friends. We're friends. We're
Mm,
good friends."
okay.
I sent her the song and I said, "This is what I couldn't say to you at the time. I'm sorry,
Oh my
but here
gosh,
it
it's so
is."
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Thank
what
you.
was her reaction when she received it? And when you sent the song, was it just the lyrics, or you sent a CD or something where you sang it?
No, I sent the Spotify link. I was like, "Yo, this is a song."
Okay.
Yeah,
Kasi when it was already released, that's the time that you
yeah,
sent it to her.
yeah.
Okay. And what did she say?
She loved it, and she still remains a fan of Manila Under Fire, which is nice.
Mm,
But some things just don't work out.
yeah.
That's life. Yeah.
And so after her, you didn't focus anymore in your love life, or you are
Ah.
currently dating or engaged or what?
No, no, no. After her had another girlfriend, then
Mm,
side flings, stuff like that. I don't know.
mm.
Right now, I'm not.
But right now you're free.
Yeah, I'm free. I'm not
Mm,
dating anyone because
okay.
hassle.
Okay. So, okay. From the songs of Manila Under Fire, especially the one that was released in the album that was released in 2014, could you please share to us among those songs, which do you find uh, for you your favorite, or a song that is close to your heart?
Yeah. I think my favorite on that album is it's the longest one. It's 6 minutes. It's called Dead Starlight.
Dead Starlight. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah. It's a song about new beginnings or starting over. The it's kind of deep, but I'll explain it na lang.
mm,
When I was arranging it with our old guitar player, we had this concept of stars and how they die and how they live again. So that's why it's called Dead Starlight. It's like it a star implodes and then explodes.
mm.
And yeah, basically that's what the song is about. It's really a song about just you know
In
hmm
fairness, no, I mean, your songs are well thought of, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's not just an ordinary song that you could, just create, because you were thinking, there were some deep meanings into it, very
Yeah,
literary also in the sense.
right, right,
Mm,
right. Actually, to share, Gabby, our vocalist, he's very like Freddie Mercury
oh,
style of writing.
that's his influence.
Actually,
Very.
his influence is Jared Leto and Gerard Way.
Mm,
Those two are heavily influenced by Freddie Mercury. So by
yeah,
transitivity, it carried over. But Gabby's very literal. Not literal, sorry,
literary.
literary.
Yeah.
He writes music very poetically. I am the opposite. I am more pop oriented, where I want to hear the hook, the repeating patterns, turn it into something, memorable. I'm not saying Gab songs are not memorable. He
Yeah.
writes incredible,
Mm.
but they're just different. Ano eh?
Yeah, because like for example, in your after it's said and done, it's easily recalled by listener. The first time you listen into it, you could easily love it, and there's a recall. So
Right,
I think that's what you were referring to as a bit
right.
pop-ish,
Yeah.
right?
But when you combine that pop-ish stuff with Gabby's, Freddie Mercury style singing performance,
Mm.
it's really a rock show,
Powerful.
like powerful. Oh. So that's what makes our band very
So
unique.
I'm curious to know. No, so you're a musician. You had this album. Are you the type? I mean, are musicians like they really know the song by heart? All the songs, because there's a number of songs, right? Calm down, lay here, the crash.
Right, right.
So do you all personally know the background of each song?
Yeah, we do actually.
Do you discuss? I mean, for example, this is the first song. You discuss.
mm,
This is all about this, etc. So how? Mm.
it's the discussion is usually later. What comes first is either the music or the lyrics, and the rhythm. The rhythm is, oh, ano, come to think about it, the rhythmic patterns.
Mm.
That's how we start. It's not necessarily just the lyrics or a discussion about the theme. That's the beauty of making music. It doesn't have to fit a theme.
Yeah.
You can change the theme as you go, but what remains is that um drive to make it
The passion.
sound
No?
good. Like, yeah, the passion, because a song has to affect it. It can't be a song just, to, how do I articulate this? I guess the way we write songs now is it has to affect.
Yeah.
It has to affect the listener in whatever way, good or bad.
Mm.
Um, Actually, right now our songs are pretty dark.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
noticed.
pretty
I
dark.
tried listening few lines, no, and that's the reason why I stopped for a while, and then when I chanced upon after it's said and that, I listened to the entirety of the song because somehow it's different.
Right, right.
Most of the songs. So why it's dark?
Uh, it's easier for us to write songs which are, themes that are aggressive. We're not aggressive people. It's just that the things in our lives that affect us the most are usually the not so good things.
Yes, exactly.
So instead of, you know, making doing, mischievous things or illegal things, it's better to just process it through music. Right, right.
Okay. But do you think those who are able to listen to it, because they have different ways of, taking the song, right? Others might affect negatively into the
Right.
lyrics, and others might take it positively. So, in general, how do you think your audience take these dark songs?
I think they like it because when it's live, they really move to it. And we're a rock band, so we cater to rock fans. So yeah, the rock fans are pretty intense, especially like if you go to the provinces like Cavite and Cebu,
Have you been to
um,
Bacolod?
Bacolod not yet, Cebu, Pangasinan, but the best talaga Cavite. ibang klase
How
kagawin.
they react to the
Yeah, yeah,
performance.
yeah.
And
They're
they know
really
the
rock
songs.
fans.
They also know the songs.
Yeah, yeah. They know some of the songs.
So you really have a following, or you really have your audience.
Yeah, we have an audience.
Because
Um,
personally, I'm not really a rack
yeah,
follower, no. But then because you're there, I become somehow interested, no. It's because of you, no? But then that's why I really don't know anything about the process of how to go
right,
about things like this. That's why this is a
right.
very interesting, discussion. So, do you? Uh, Many people are claiming that rap songs are somewhat very dark. Aside from that, uh, many commit suicides, in different songs or dark songs, because they. I mean, there were some studies that they were affected with the songs, no. But do you think your music is not like that?
Well, our music, I've how do I say this? I've never heard of anyone react, negatively to a song of ours yet.
Yes.
But we do have another album coming out, so let's see
Okay.
if
So it's
they,
still it's dark also.
it's the title is called "A Look into the Void."
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's
Still
very,
literary. Oh.
I think it's very
It's
yes,
like nakawalan.
yes, very Nietzsche and Cthulhu inspired.
So who
Not
conceptualized this album? The three of you.
yeah, the three of us. But when it comes to like the art of the single art, album art, the visuals, uh, Gabby, the vocalist, is really heavy into that. So we really discuss more now about the themes compared to when we were younger. So when we were talking about, so how do we entitle this album? Because most of these songs are dark. Maybe there are like two songs which are not dark. Um, we're reprising After Said and Done with more strings, so that will be part of that album. And then, yes, the albums. Okay, sorry. Why it's called "A Look into the Void"?
Yes.
Because since the pandemic hit last year, we had no title yet for the album. And then, things got delayed and delayed. Actually, we're still delayed till now.
Yes.
But yeah, so we just thought of what can summarize the theme of this. And then I was reading some Nietzsche and watching like, Hellboy, the old ones, the old Hellboy. And you know how okay, this is kind of deep, but
Yeah,
I
it's
want
okay.
to
I mean, don't worry. Our audience
yeah, yeah.
are open to that.
Oh, nice, nice. So, by virtue of the darkness of the theme, uh, we started, getting the symbolisms from Nietzsche's work and from Lovecraft, and then suddenly it hit me. I look into the void, like not going into the void, not being there,
Yeah.
but just silip lang, parang whoa, that's pretty intense. Something
That's
like that.
yeah. That's why we can consider it's really if you're looking into it, no, parang this is a well thought of title, like yung mga ganon. Pero yung pala you felt it, no, it's
Oh yeah,
struck you, and it becomes the title. That's nice to know.
right, right. So, by your question, I realized that how different art forms can
Mm.
influence each other. So, like film and literature can influence music, like what
Yeah.
happened to us. And I think that's what's important, to just keep on inspiring
Mm.
each other.
actually musicians like you are actually poets. I mean, because there's a symbiotic relationship with poetry and music. Like because one type of we studied in literature, one type of poetry is song, right? So
Right.
without people knowing it, if you're a musician, you're a poet by heart, like that.
Maybe, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but of course, no, a different context, no, right now. So, for
Right.
example, in your case, uh, you don't follow rhythmic patterns, no, when you compose songs, or you do,
We do, we do.
you do. Okay.
We really start with the rhythms first, more than
Okay, so
anything
that
else.
means to say you're really a poet, no, traditional poets, right?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
then
okay.
then you infuse it to the your modern music, to the music that you prefer, right? No?
Right,
But do
right.
you consider it? I'm sorry to admit, no, I do not know what underground music is.
Yeah.
Are you
So
underground music?
I
Mm.
guess our music is still underground because underground is like it's an
Antithesis.
an- antithesis to the mainstream.
Okay.
Mainstream meaning your music on the radio.
Accepted by
Uh,
everybody, okay.
yeah, usually the pop
Easily
stuff.
embraced by
Yeah,
people. But for
yeah.
the underground music, is it something like it takes time for you to appreciate? Is it like that, or there's a certain audience really for that?
There's really a certain audience I can say for underground music because there's here in the Philippines there's so many talented artists.
Yeah.
A plethora, I swear, a
Yeah.
plethora
So
of talent.
what do you think is the profile of those who love your type of music? Do they have the same profile, or they come in varying size and sizes?
They
Uh,
they well, to be honest, they're usually chicks.
okay.
But the guys, the rock fans, they're like teenagers, uh, people in their mid 20s, 30s also. Mga
When
ganun.
you do concerts, right? Because normally you really do gigs, a live audience, right? So,
Right.
what kind of satisfaction that you are feeling when you see that your audience truly react positively and passionately to your performances?
Oh, it helps. It makes us feel really good because then we did our job.
Mm.
We gave you a good show. You enjoyed, and it means our music affected that person in whatever way. And that's the end goal, to just affect, to
Yeah,
make people feel something.
exactly. Mm. And going back
Yeah.
to your incoming album, no,
Because
when are you going to
then,
release it? Hello.
if you don't affect
Yeah.
someone, where you playing?
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Sorry, going
yeah,
back to
yeah. So, you're about to release this new album, right?
right,
The
right.
Void. What's the title
Yeah,
again? Mm.
a look into the
A
void.
Look into the Void. Now, I think this is the perfect time also to release such song because now it's digital, no? I mean, you could
Right,
release digitally, so I think you could reach all over the world, right? No, so since
right.
you will put it in different platforms, right? Spotify,
Yes.
iTunes. So, oh my gosh,
Spotify,
mm-mm.
iTunes, Deezer, uh, maybe Amazon. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
It's
will
up to the
definitely. I
label.
will promote it.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
So, okay. So, but is it a financially rewarding career? Being in that kind of
Oh no, it's not. It's not. I have to say, it's not. But it's really it's really a vocation. It's not for everyone.
Yeah. So it's
Like,
fulfilling, no? Mm.
yeah, if you want to earn millions, music is not the way.
Mm.
But if you want to live your life creating and knowing that your creations can help other people and help yourself as well, then do
So
it.
the members, the three of you, so you have your band, but on the side, do you have some other works or
Yeah,
jobs?
we have
Really?
businesses. Yeah.
Okay, so personal businesses. Mm.
Yes, yes.
So, like for example, what is your business?
I have a studio. I do recordings, not just for the band, but for
Mm. For those who
clients.
would like to record
Yeah.
songs like that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you personally attend to that,
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
customers and all.
Yes,
Where is your
I
shop? I mean, where your studio in BF? Mm.
yeah, in BF lang.
Uh,
Yeah.
where do you stay, ba? BF Paranaque Phase 3, 1.
Yeah, yeah. Phase 3, phase 3.
Phase 3. Okay, so it's near the Lopez Village.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that area.
okay. I see. So how is it? Like, I mean, it's pandemic now. Are there
Yeah.
customers for your business?
Yeah, there are in terms of editing, like may papa-edit sa akin, so I do it for them, then I get paid, stuff like that.
So what kind of editing stuff you're doing? Like, do you
Uh,
edit, for example, voice? I want, I will send you a voice tape or a voice recording. Tape pa yung sa isip, no? It shows my age. So, voice recording, then I want you to improve my voice. I want you to do something about it to make it sound good. Do you do that? Mhm.
yeah, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I might be getting your services.
Yeah, sure, sure. Just let me know what you need.
How much do you charge? You know, at least for those, I know I have
Mm,
most of my subscribers. I know them. I mean, they're into it, no, recording and editing stuff. They want.
right,
I mean, they're looking into editing stuff and all. How much
right.
do you charge? And what are the inclusion of your?
Yeah. So I for recording, because that's what I'm really geared towards. My studio is really for recording. For whatever recording you want to do, drums, vocals,
Hmm.
digital pianos, guitars, bass. I charge 2,000 pesos for the first 3 hours.
Okay.
And then the succeeding is 500 per hour.
Well, not bad.
It's
I mean,
not, yeah,
yeah.
it's a very affordable
Affordable.
price.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, most studios in Manila charge 1,000 an hour. I'm technically giving you 1,000 off
Yeah.
because by virtue of the 3 hour deal and then succeeding 500.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's really affordable, no? Because
Mm,
I've asked around, even before, no, they charge very high. Even here in Indonesia, they charge very high per hour. Mm-mm.
yeah. So what I decided to price it that way because I'm a musician and I know how hard it is to
Yeah.
earn money. And so you need to make your prices, competitive at the same time, attractive.
Mm. So at this point, you still have some customers from time to time.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But not as much.
Uh, Prior to pandemic, what was the status of your team? I mean, your band. No, I mean, were you having some uh, projects that were halted like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. So prior pandemic, we were playing live, earning well from that. But now, no live,
Mm-mm.
no money from that. And a lot of plans. Ayun, as I said, like this album was supposed to be released last year. But because of the pandemic, we had to stop because
But
when
you were already done with the recording during the time.
we were done with practically half of the recordings, but then the rest of the songs had to be recorded, and technically you can't go into a studio together
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, so that really delayed a lot.
Mhm. So how much this pandemic affected you personally, Nikos?
Oh, a lot, really a lot. Like financially, a lot. Emotionally, a lot. Mentally, a lot.
Mm.
Physically, well, the physical aspect is I got more time to work out, which is good because prior pandemic, I really didn't have time to take care of myself. But when it hit, you have nothing else to do except
Yeah.
you know
So I'm curious to know, no, the it affected you mentally and emotionally. Could you please specify on that? Because I'm just curious because I also feel that. No,
right.
so I do not know how you cope with it and how you
Mm,
go about it. So I think it could help, our viewers from your
right.
sharing.
Yeah. So mentally, like you're used to a schedule. You play shows on every 3 shows a week,
Mm,
or five, depending on the bookings per week, per month. And then suddenly nothing. No live, no social gatherings, no like just being around people because I love going out. I love the nightlife.
yeah,
I'm a
that's your
night
life
person.
actually.
But yeah,
Because being a musician, you
yes.
perform
And the creative things happen at night. Eh.
at
They
nighttime.
don't
That's true.
during the day. They're more of the mechanical things. Like for example, drumming is very physical. So I
Yeah,
drum during the day. But when it comes to actually making music, it happens at night.
that's true. Even
Happens at night.
for me, example, I'm an English teacher, and then I think
Hmm.
of something. I write better at nighttime.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's true. Mhm.
Because it's quieter,
Yeah,
and you're more when you're alone and it's quiet, you can hear your inner voice. Eh.
mm,
Or if you believe in the divine, you can hear the universe giving you something.
yeah. Mm. What was the lowest point of your life in during the time of pandemic? I mean, lowest in the sense that you felt like this is nothing is happening. I mean you're so depressed, and
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've come out of a depression recently
okay,
again because of the same reasons. You can't play live.
yeah,
You can't see your friends. You can't see your relatives. You can't see your band. You can't go out because if you go out, you risk yourself getting sick
yeah,
or getting your family sick.
mm,
Um, so those things, you know, they create this tension in me
so
because
but
it's
you were depressed, right? But then
mm,
what was the level of depression? Was it something that you really needed to seek medical assistance, or you managed to cope with it on your own?
with my own, but it took a good month. I wasn't sleeping
Mm,
well. I was sleeping at like 8 a.m.,
okay. How
waking
did
up
you?
at
How did you? How did
five.
you? I'm so curious to know. How did you? Because you're aware that you have depression, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
but then you're also on the side. You're aware that you needed to confront it.
Right, right.
So how did you go about that? It's difficult.
Okay, it's difficult, but what I've learned through the years is you have to face it. You can't suppress it. You can't say, I'm okay. But deep down, you're not. You have to like let it out in some way. Because if you don't, and you keep on suppressing and distracting, actually those are the two worst things: suppression and distraction.
Mm.
Because when you suppress, it fills up. When you distract yourself, it's in the back of your head.
Okay.
But I mean, you're doing something, but it's in the back of your head. So it's not. Don't do that.
Yeah. Nikos, you're
Like
staying with
confront
your
it.
yeah. You're staying with your family, right? Or you
Yeah.
live alone? Mm.
No. I was going to move out, but then the
Mm.
pandemic
Oh, okay.
hit.
So
So
I never had the
I'm here.
opportunity to ask you this. Do you have a brother or a sister, or you're alone? You're an only child.
I'm I'm the only one.
Oh, that's why. Mm-mm. Yeah. That's why now I understand. No, that depression struck you because you don't have a sibling with you, right? To at least somehow, neutralize what you're feeling, right? Mm-mm.
Right.
So
That's true.
going back to your being an only kid, didn't you long for a sibling or a brother or a sister at some point in your life?
Well, as a kid, I grew up with my cousins, so that helped. But then when I grew up, like into a teenager, they all left because they all had to, get married, have their own families, and that was kind of sad
Yeah.
because I was left alone.
Mm. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. Let's go back to Zobel.
Yeah,
Who among your classmates or friends you are still in close contact with up to this moment?
in Zobel,
Yeah.
I still talk to. Do you know Taking?
Yeah. Mm.
Marelia, yeah, Taking. He's a
Yeah.
lawyer now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's serving with Angara, I think.
But
Senator.
in the junior age,
Josh.
your junior age, right? That time, A B C D. Yeah,
Yeah, in
yeah, your
junior
age,
age.
right? So
Yeah, I was junior age.
among that class, who you're still in close contact with?
Uh, I don't. I honestly don't talk to anyone from high school anymore.
But they're your Facebook friends.
Yeah, of course they're on my Facebook, but like I'm not close with anyone in my class anymore.
Really? I never felt that.
Yeah,
It's like you could penetrate to every group during that time.
yeah, but you fall apart.
Okay. So you didn't.
Sorry, not fall apart, drift apart. That's the
Yeah.
proper word, drift apart.
So it's like you didn't have any opportunity to attend any reunion of the batch.
Oh, I did, but I had the gig.
Okay. So there was
Yeah,
a
so
reunion, but you were not able to do so to attend.
yeah, I really wanted to go, but I had the booking, so I had to fly to somewhere to play and didn't
Okay.
happen.
Your batchmates or your fellow LaSalle students were not able to really watch you live performing as Manila Under Fire member.
I don't think so. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't think of bringing the band to Sobel and perform there?
we did once in 2012,
Okay. Okay.
but
So
it was a
how
different lineup.
it's a different lineup. And then the music. How about the music? Was it
Oh,
paper or
no, it was not. It
uh,
was
but
more.
Lasal embrace it. I mean, there was no
Yeah.
issue. Mm.
Right. Actually, looking back, LaSalle always breeds excellent musicians.
Yeah.
LaSalle and Ateneo. Like no doubt about it. But I feel that LaSalle people, I'm not being biased, but through my experience,
Yeah.
I feel like LaSalle people are more experimental with music. The 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 Ateneans are more mainstream in a way.
Mm.
LaSalle is like you have your metal people, you have your punk rock, you have your daming ano eh.
Yeah. Di ba Mark Escueta, Julino's husband, nagpang-abot ba kayo sa Lasal?
Ano, Mark 90s pa si
Oo,
Mark.
matagal. Medyo may edad.
90s pa si
Oo, tama. Pero still, di ba? Parang...
Yeah. Pero Mark and I are good friends. We're friends. We're friends. Yun, because music, like the industry is quite small, so everyone kind of knows everyone.
So how about Nathan Azarcon?
He's my kumpare.
Kumpare. You know what, Nathan? This is I mean, because he came from Zobel, right? But then he moved to Pinoy Montessori before. He left, and then that's where I met him because I was teaching in Pinoy that time. Actually, Nathan was I really had I really liked him so much during that time. Then,
he's funny.
Oh, and the personality.
He's funny.
He's so nice also. But
he's
then,
nice. He's nice.
After a few months, nawala siya. Biglang nakita ko may River Maya na. Lumipat, I mean, they appeared on television and I was so shocked. So yun eh, oo.
Right.
Pero how did you know him? I mean, how did you become his kumpare?
Well, at the time he was living in the village near mine, yung adjacent. So, paano ba?
O, diba?
Good question.
Nag-meet, diba? How did you meet?
Paano kami nag-meet? Wait. I met him pala. The first time actually, I met him was in Zobel as Bamboo. He was playing bass for the band Bamboo.
So I got confused.
Yeah, 2004.
Okay.
That was 2000. I was 12 years old. I met him because I was such a fan. I met him. I didn't have a pen. I wanted to have something signed, but wala eh. So I met him. I met the band. He was actually the most endearing, very welcoming to the fans.
That's true.
And I realized, like, when I become like him, I will do the same. I will always accommodate, a fan. Actually, I've never told this to Nathan because I just remembered this now.
Yeah. I'm sure he will watch this.
Yeah. Oh, sana.
I will tell him.
Well, he will most likely. Yes, you will. I mean, but years later on, I met him here sa BF. Yun. So, we started hanging out and then just exchanging, talking about life, music, and yun, that's how we became close.
Oh, that's nice. No? So do you know the brother, Noel Azarcon?
Yeah, but not as well as Nate's. Because Nate's is like a kuya to me. Like, I look up to him.
Ako naman, I met Noel in San Beda when I was teaching. Before I went to Zobel, I was teaching college in San Beda, Alabang. So that's where I met him. And ayun, doon ko nalaman na he's the brother of Nathan. Kaya parang, ayun.
Right. Counselor si Noel ngayon eh. Ng BF. Yeah, I met him a couple of times, but we're not close. Kami ni Nate's talaga yung...
So kayo ni Nathan, you didn't think of collaborating or ganon?
We never got the chance to. We did jam once for his band years ago, but then he joined River Maya again eh. And he rejoined with Mark, which I'm really happy about. I've never told him this, but I don't know, when I talk to him, I want to talk about, life and, because music is kind of a job. And when you're a musician talking to another musician, sometimes the best thing is not to talk about music and just talk about other life things. So yun, I'm really happy he rejoined River Maya because then him and Mark were always like
Yeah.
two peas in a pod. Eh.
So River Maya, I mean they revived River Maya now. I mean,
I think, yeah, it's a different version of River Maya. They don't have a singer because all of them sing.
yeah. Okay.
So they take turns in the singing.
So I hope they will become active also, no, again, no, because
Yeah,
magaganda rin ang music nila eh.
yeah. Actually, we're all just waiting. Kahit kami, Manila Under Fire, when it's clear, we're ready to play live again.
So that's interesting. So basically, na ano lang ako na parang wala palang, hindi pala nagkaroon ng chance ang mga classmates mo in Zobel to really watch you performing live.
Oh, no, no.
How I wish, no, there would be that, opportunity.
Yeah, it would be nice to reconnect then with your old classmates. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe they won't appreciate.
You can never tell naman. And anyway, many of them are
yeah.
subscribed here, so let's see, no?
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Cool.
Okay, so what is your fondest memory of Zobel? I mean, one thing that you couldn't really forget.
Oh, I love being in the band room and just playing drums. I mean, I was an okay student, I guess. But my heart wasn't in academics. It was talagang
In the music.
in music. Eh.
Ang maganda kasi sa Zobel, they have different rooms for certain, instruments, right?
Right. I love fair time too because it was, let's have fun and do stupid stuff. Kasi pag school day, di ba, Sir Dudes, it was tight schedule. Eh.
Okay. Ako naman, I was always looking forward to, entering your class.
Oh yeah, same.
Sobrang fun na parang lahat nilalaro lang natin pero we're learning
yes.
and that's why I still keep the video that the classmate before I left before I moved to grade 7
yeah. Actually, to think about it, we've always enjoyed your lessons.
That's nice
because it didn't feel like school. It felt like we were nagkwakwentuhan lang tayo. But, things that we really need to learn.
And one thing I appreciate from your class, when we had parang monologue or something.
Right.
Everybody, there was no inhibition. No, everybody wore costume. They memorized their lines and all. It's so nice. No?
Yeah, everyone was like, it's game time. We gotta do this. And remember the competitions, yung mga intersection?
Yeah.
Kasi, talagang, are we gonna win or not? Yeah. Parang the mentality of that class was very competitive.
Tapos I still keep the evaluation because you were asked to evaluate teachers, right? Every term or every end of semester, I think. I kept it because I got very high, and then I saw all the comments from all you guys. So I still preserve that. I still keep that. Imagine that was 2008, I think, right? 2008, and what year is it now?
Wow. Yeah, that was a great year for me, sa Zobel, because so many creative things happening in school and outside of school. A lot of milestones. It was great.
But at this point, do you think you still have a lot of things to offer pa to your audience, or medyo na-reach nyo na yung sa tingin mo medyo yung peak tapos nagpa-plateau na lang kayo, or marami pa silang dapat?
Actually, marami pa, because with this album we realized what kind of sound we really want to make and how to approach writing. In a way, I guess you're turning into mainstream na rin. In a way.
Parang you're in a way.
Yeah, because
fantastic.
when you're young, it's like play fast, loud, okay na yun. But you don't really think about, is this song going to be timeless? Is this song going to
Yeah.
reach? Now that we're not so young,
Hmm.
we realize that you need to make songs that are, at least try to make songs that are, that can reach out more. Affect. Affect.
You know what? I mean, the after it's said and then, who composed the melody? Also you.
Yes, that was me.
So everything is composed by you, both the lyrics and the melody.
Yes, that was me.
This one has a universal appeal.
Heartache is
I'm
very
so sorry.
universal.
I'm so sorry to the other songs because I haven't really listened to the
Yeah.
other songs. No, but this one I listened it for a couple of times. Eh. So it really it becomes part of my system already. That
Right.
I parang hinahanap ko na siya na parang I have to
Right.
parang ganon. So tingin ko if you will really promote it well and parang in mainstream promotion yun siya, I think it would be a hit song.
Yeah. Yeah. We try our best. Like,
But
we
of
have
course, we
so
will try
much
to
to
help,
offer.
no? And we will try to help, patronizing it in the digital platforms.
Yeah, I mean, just listen to it, save it on your playlist when the album's out. That's
So,
pretty
and
much.
actually, after this, I will be listening to all your music so that I could really embrace, no, what what Manila Under Fire is all about. Because basically,
Okay.
I
I would
already know you.
recommend.
Mm.
I would recommend you listen to the 4 songs, the singles.
Um,
The album is not. The album is not really production wise great, but the 4 songs are interesting because they all have their theme. So after it's said and done is about heartache. Kryptonite is about overcoming adversity.
okay.
Weaknesses. It's
Kryptonite
about
pala,
yeah. It's about overcoming weaknesses.
And
Uh,
I like the association, no, na you use kryptonite to parang sa Superman kasi, di ba? Na,
yes, correct,
oo.
correct.
Yun kasi
Ganun.
yung the only thing that could defeat him, right?
Yes, correct, correct.
Oo.
So in that symbolism, like we put it in that way. And then God Tongue is about it's about our haters. We have a lot of haters,
Masters.
bashers, because like there are people who just don't like you. That's fine,
Mm.
and they have the energy to pay attention to you. So thank you. We still love them.
Okay, so speaking of bashers, no, of course you cannot please everybody, no matter how good you perform, no matter how nice you are. There will always be people who won't like you, right? So, how does it affect you? I mean, if you see bashers or if there are people who are really open to let you know that we don't like your music, your
Yeah.
performance, right?
Well, when I was younger, it really pissed me off. But now I just laugh it off
Mm.
because at the end of the day, that person still listened to us and
Yeah.
had the diba? And that
Yeah.
person had true, diba? Like had the effort to comment.
Exactly.
So, salamat. Stig.
Yeah, you're maturing na rin as a person
Yeah.
and as a musician. No,
Right, right.
nagsasabay siya dahil kasi
Sabay.
oo, that's good, no. Kasi nga yung sabi mo nga you're now thinking of the impact of the music that you're creating now,
Right.
the relevance, the universality of it. That's the maturity, actually.
Right. Correct.
So how do you plan to promote this album, no? Kasi I think you have the bigger chance of promoting it kasi nga digital tayo ngayon eh. Ang dali-dali ngayon ng ano. Pero ano yung major plan niyo to blast it?
Well, we're gonna release a music video. Of course, we're gonna do the online interviews like this one, something like this. We're going to do pre-recorded live videos as well, and we're going to what else we're gonna do? We're gonna release merchandise.
That's
We
nice.
have we have a lot. We have a lot of stuff. We're just
Okay.
we're just waiting for this album to finish.
Okay. When do you think this album will be ready for release?
For release, maybe by September or October.
Okay, but last quarter of the year.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of time to prepare.
Yeah.
It's a very tedious process.
Yeah, but you're done with some songs already?
Yeah, we're actually dalawa na lang. We're on the mixing stage na. So we don't
Okay.
mixing meaning after recording it's being processed
Mm-mm.
to make it, to sound
The studio
wide.
sound.
So, yeah. So we're in the mixing phase and we have two more songs to go. And we're finished with the
You
album.
do the mixing also, or you
No.
other technical people?
No, we have a mix engineer. His name is Juni Devakay. Shout out to Big House Studios. Ang galing niya. Sobrang galing. He makes us sound like, we're an international band.
Yeah,
so
that's
to
nice.
speak.
Interesting to wait for this album. Oh my gosh! So, how about your? I mean, I'm curious. No, you're with your mom and with your dad
Yeah.
right now. So, how are they? How are they in this time of pandemic?
They're just chilling.
So going back to the depression thing, no, because many could relate to it, no. So
Yeah.
when did you realize na, or when did you find out na, oh, I'm okay na, or you're still in the process of recuperating from that, depression?
I think when I finally got to sleep, because mental exhaustion is a contributing factor to depression. If you don't sleep well consecutively, it messes with your head. So when I got to really sleep at night time, for that one time, I started feeling much better.
Okay. What do you still envision with your Manila Under Fire? What are still the things that you want to happen to the band?
Well, we want to play internationally, like other countries.
So we could probably, we might. Who knows? We can do something about that, no?
Yeah, like we really want to, explore, at least play probably like somewhere in ASEAN, Singapore.
Yeah.
Indonesia has a really wide rock following.
Yeah. Well, we could probably work on it, work out on it. No, because,
We'll see.
I know some people, that we might approach here. And also, in Malaysia, I could, in Singapore, there were some key people that, because I'm coaching beauty pageant
right.
winners,
Yeah.
right? And the
Yeah.
national director of Singapore and the national director of Malaysia, and here are some, are my friends. So probably we could work it out, no? Because sayang, your music should be heard by the whole world, and your performance should be seen by the whole world.
Yeah.
No.
Because honestly, here in Manila, it's so oversaturated. Kasi ang daming nagagaling. But when you put a Filipino artist outside, they shine.
True. That's
They
true.
shine. They shine.
That's true.
They shine. Because we have the, how do you say this? I guess we have the heartfeltness of being Filipino.
Yeah, kasi, well, aside from that, when you perform, you just don't perform for the heck of performing. You perform from the heart, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo, ganun eh. Kasi there are so many artists na, there were so many singers na who sing for the heck of singing because they have good voice. No, but you don't feel it. Maraming ganyan.
Yeah. Madami.
And Filipinos, I think that's one of our, that's an edge among the Filipinos na we sing from the heart. and
That's true.
really,
That's
really
true.
talented individuals.
That's true. I agree.
How I hope to be able to produce one concert of Manila Under Fire in the future.
That would be that
Yeah,
would be great, but
yeah, di ba? It's not a remote possibility, you know. It
it's
could
not. It's not.
happen. No?
Anything could happen.
It could
Anything could happen.
happen. I'm just hoping and praying that this pandemic will be, will end sooner than we expected, no? Kasi para we
Right.
go back to, you know,
The normal life. Yeah.
the most affected ones are actually the performers and the artists, no, in this
That's true.
pandemic.
That's true. Because it's not just it's not yun nga, it's not just a financial thing. It's
Yeah.
also an emotional, mental thing.
The whole being, no?
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
being. Mhm. That's true.
And that's
So-
true, no? Because I talked to some singers also that they were really longing for, because even if they're singing online, sometimes they're doing some, online shows. They really didn't have that satisfaction that they're feeling when they're singing in front of a live
Oh, yeah.
audience.
Oh yeah, it's really different. Like the atmosphere, the vibe, the vibration talagang iba. Iba.
So I hope please let me know how once the album comes out.
Oh, yeah,
that
for sure,
we
for
will
sure.
blast it on. Hopefully,
Yes, for sure.
ma-reach pa natin ng wider audience
Yes,
from that.
for sure,
And,
sir. Dude.
Nikos, I would like you to give your what do you say that? Not really some words of wisdom to. Let's start with your Luzobel batchmates, classmates, schoolmates.
Oh, Zobel. Okay. Junior H, what's up? Matandaan na tayo. I think some of us are already with kids. So, ayun. Well, whatever you've done so far in life, I guess, just keep on.
Mga teachers mo sa Zobel na nakasubscribe din sa atin.
Teachers. Thank you for for reprimanding me pag kailangan. But most important, thank you for the life lessons, because I have so many great educators from Zobel. I have to say, more than I did in college.
I
Talagang
agree.
educators talaga. So thank you all.
Sa
Especially,
sige, continue.
especially sa inyo, Sir Dudes.
Naman.
Kay Miss Aldea, si Miss Aldea talaga, she shaped
She
me.
supports you so much.
And yes, and Gabby also.
Okay.
We came from her her teaching. So kumbaga that discipline, that that hunger to be the best.
Miss
Galing sa
Aldea
kanya.
is here, no? Hi, Miss Aldea.
Oh, nice. I miss you.
And also, how about your De La Salle University community? Did you establish some group of friends the way you did in Zobel? Kasi college is different,
Yeah,
di ba?
kind of, but my friends were not from DLSQ. Yeah, like they're from the other colleges around. I don't know. It's
And probably the reason is you were already embarking on a in this path of performing.
right.
So nahati na yung yung
Right. So like it was like go to school, attend class, do your homework, play at night. Like iba na yung takbo.
Okay. So sa family mo, I do not know how big your family is or how small your family is, but what can you say about your family or to your family?
Thank you. Keep safe. Yun talaga right now. Talagang priority.
And I heard the case in the Philippines is getting higher.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
What do you think could have been done para hindi umabot sa ganyan?
What could have been done? Shut the border. Like what Vietnam did.
Yeah.
As soon as they had their first cases, they shut down. Tayo, wala.
Wala eh. No?
Still open. Mhm.
Kaya nga parang nakaka-disappoint din na parang because I supposed to go back to the Philippines for a break, no?
Mhm.
Kaya lang it kept on postponing because of the pandemic. Kasi nga biglang taas ng taas yung
Right.
case. So parang nakaka-afraid mag-travel.
Actually, Sir Dudes, I would recommend you stay there.
Oo.
Don't go home muna. Iba eh.
Although
Kasi-
the case here in Indonesia is also parang Pinas din, pero parang sa tingin ko iba yung approach nung dalawang countries. Kasi dito as early as January, they started vaccinating people. Kasi nga, free naman ang vaccines, di ba? Paano they started with the senior citizens and the frontliners, etc. So nag-move siya talaga. And at this point, yung mga teachers naman, ang
right.
binavaccinate.
That's good. That's good.
Also, parang hindi ganun ang nangyayari sa Pinas. And, although may mga... At saka sa Pinas, what I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, what I heard is that it depends upon the local government, yung vaccination. I do not know, no? Kung
That's
kasi
correct. That's correct.
Dito kasi, in the whole of Indonesia, basta senior citizen, tsaka medical practitioners, frontline, is kayo ang number one. Automatic. You have to be scheduled for that. You're given a schedule. So I do not know how it happens there.
Here, everything's delayed.
Okay.
It's like we're always 20 steps behind.
Nakakalungkot, ano.
Oh. Because our government, I'm gonna say this, because our government doesn't love us. They don't care about us.
Hindi ko nakakalungkot tuloy. And then I know a lot of, people who passed away because of this.
Yeah.
So parang it keeps on, I mean, nakakalungkot. Even some of my students, no? Sorry, kung saan-saan, parang, oh my gosh. And because of this COVID, kaya, yun ang saddening fact, no?
Yeah, because
And
the
even,
measures that...
yeah, si Paulo Marquez, kilala mo si Pao? Is barangay captain yata.
Yeah. Sa BF. Oh.
Yeah, because he was my student also when he was in college. And then from time to time, I do watch his lives. Ang taas din pala ng case sa BF.
Mataas.
Oh my God.
Kaya, don't go out as much as possible.
So how often do you go out at this time?
Once a week.
It's once a week. And then you
Once a
go
week.
to mall? I mean, to...
No. To like, do my errands.
Just like that. And anyway, you drive your car.
Yeah, and then go straight home. Don't go anywhere else.
But the malls there are open. Siyempre, wala na akong alam sa Pinas, di ba?
Now they are. Because, well, ngayon, they're open. Because MECQ, again. But, for 2 weeks, nothing shut down talaga. It didn't help.
Yeah.
To be honest, the ECQ didn't help.
Okay. Kasi dito, they never had a lockdown. But kasi they automatically require everybody to do this or to do social distancing, etc. I think naman medyo nag-i-improve yung situation dito. That's why kahit papaano, pero ingat pa din, di ba? We still have to be very careful. Kaya lang nasasadden ako pag yung mga news from the Philippines, ayan, puro na lang cases, taas ng taas. Nakakasad, nakaka-afraid.
Because also people here, if you go to like Laguna, the rural areas, people don't wear masks in public.
Really?
They don't. I've seen it firsthand driving, which was last year. This was last year. I went to Laguna to pick up some drum stuff, and then you drive the road, you see the sides, people in the markets, no masks.
Oh my gosh.
So what do you expect? Things are gonna get worse.
Your album looking at the void.
Yeah, look into the void.
Look, that one is a fitting
Very fitting for the situation.
For this situation, no.
It is. it tackles themes about yun nga, mental health, about overcoming weaknesses, um, bashers.
Uh,
You know
so
the
you already have I mean a design for the album, the cover like that.
yeah we have art for it already.
Uh, so, but definitely the album. I mean, you will have some teasers and TVs before the
Oh yes,
launching.
yes, for sure, for sure.
Okay, okay. So,
Before the release date, we have teasers.
sige,
We have a
paingay
music
na.
video.
Yeah,
We have a
paingay
music
natin
video.
yan. Oo.
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, paingay natin yung album na yan.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay, any last word, Nico? I really enjoyed this
Yeah.
conversation. You know what? Kasi without you knowing it, siguro, this is not to patronize. You know, you were one of my favorites during that time. Oo,
Thank
totoo
you, thank you, thank
yun.
you. Thank
Totoo
you.
yun. And I think some of my colleagues could attest to that.
Oh yeah.
Because we were,
Yeah.
talking, sila Miss, yung si basta yung mga teachers na mga close ko, ayan. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's the reason why every time I play the videos, no, lagi yung hina-highlight ko yung, kasi there was a part there na you said something about, kasi I was about to leave, yung mga ganon.
Yeah,
Up to
yeah.
now,
Yeah, yeah.
So, kaya natutuwa ako kasi I was very hesitant to approach you for this interview kasi sabi ko nga, I don't have that much subscribers but I know my subscribers are my personal friends and who know this time. So, baka hindi ka pumayag. So, but without batting eyelashes, pumayag ka. So, I'm so thankful about that.
Thanks for getting me too, because it's nice to share information.
And I
Talk
learned a
about
lot, no, from your type of music and your personally, I know more about you dahil sa mga sharing mo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, ang malalim ka. You're a malalim kang tao and very creative.
Thank you, thank you. I try.
Okay.
So last words. I want to thank first and foremost my band Manila Under Fire. I want to thank our management, Strong Management Philippines. I also want to plug my endorsements. Thank you to Armada Cymbals, to Ubec Big Cases and Rimshot Drumsticks. All are Philippine-made products. I support Philippine products 100%. And I believe in the quality of Pinoy made. So I'm Nikos Kaziras, and thank you for having me.
Manila Under Fire.
Manila
Thank
Under
you so
Fire.
much, Nikos.
Thank you, sir.
so much.
Okay.